Today we are going to be discussing Kevyn Adams and if he should get fired as Sabres GM. So first things first, let's take a look at his draft classes. In 2020, he started off his first draft pick, Jack Quinn, in the first round. Again, this was very controversial at the time. Marco Rossi, who's having a heck of a season with the Minnesota Wild, was kind of the counterpart here, and the Sabres elected to hold back and get Jack Quinn. He did save it. Second round, J.J. Peterka, who at that point was an absolute steal at that point in the draft. Both guys ended up going with the Amherst and having monster years. Unfortunately, though, both guys this season have looked lackluster at best. So it's one of those draft classes where at the time we were very excited about it, but right now it's looking like both guys could be busts. Both guys have the ability to shoot the puck, the playmaking skills. It's just they have no confidence right now, and Jack Quinn especially, his skating has just really fallen off, and Peterka just really struggles with the puck on his stick. Moving to 2021, Owen Power, again, it was a no-brainer. You can't really complain about the pick as mediocre as Owen Power has been. Again, still a lot of intangibles with him, and he was the clear number one overall pick. 30 out of 30 teams probably would have picked Owen Power. There might have been two that went the other way, but 30 teams in the league at least would have picked him. Then Isak Rosen is the 14th pick that year in the first round. A guy who's tearing it up in the AHL, but I don't really think he has a spot on the NHL roster. And then some other picks there, nothing really too crazy. Oliver Nadeau in the fourth round in that year as well. Novikov in the sixth round, AHL guys. Tyson Kozak in the seventh round, AHL guys. You move on to the 2022 draft. Matt Savoy, who basically you could sum up as Ryan McLeod, is what it is. Ninth pick. Again, the Sabres just find themselves in the late single-digit draft picks every single year, and that's the worst part to be in the draft because you get a guy who's probably not going to make the league right away, but you're still not making the playoffs. Ostlund with the 16th pick, he's looking solid. Yuri Kulik with the 28th pick, that might be his best pick yet. Yuri Kulik, of course, the Sabres, one young star that I still have a ton of confidence in. Everyone else has kind of taken a worse year here, but I think Yuri Kulik has really saved himself. And, you just go through the rest of that draft class, and there's not really much else there. Then you move to the 2023 draft. Of course, Zach Benson, first round, 13th overall. Benson's been really good, has that chippy ability. They've rushed him into the league, but with that rule where he can't play in the AHL, there's not much else they can do with him. So good stuff there, but then again, nothing else in that draft class. Scott Ratzlaff in the fifth round if you want to talk about camp bodies, but not much there. And then, of course, the 2024 draft, which was by far, I would say, the worst because there's no reason to make a first-round pick, and this is where we'll transition into should he get fired. Kevyn Adams has not done a single thing to make me want him as the GM, right? And I'm going to get into Elias Pettersson a little bit later in this video and potentially that big trade that could really help Kevyn Adams establish himself. But he just isn't the right guy for the job at this point because he's not respected. He tries to make trades. The first round pick, he has to trade, absolutely has to trade. The Sabres are lacking one or two stars on this team. You have a first round pick, you might as well use it in a trade. You actually had 3 first round picks at one point, and Hellenius gets picked with the 14th overall pick. Again, Hellenius, he could be good, but it's going to take a while for him to develop, and it was really just a waste of a pick. You might get lucky with him, but just a waste of a pick. Then you trade your second round pick for Beck Malenstein. Are you serious? Beck Malenstein, a guy who's a fourth liner on every other team in the league, especially a playoff team. I don't think he's really seeing the ice, but it is unfortunate that the Sabres have wasted so many draft picks. And you look at the other side of things too, where drafting has been Kevyn Adams' biggest, kind of positive, right? Drafting has been the only positive with Kevyn Adams, and all of his good draft picks have kind of stumbled out and fizzled out this year. Not to say that they won't bounce back. Again, I still have a lot of confidence in J.J. Peterka to bounce back from that. Benson's going to be very good at one point, but Kevyn Adams is fighting for his job right now, and with the Sabres heading into year 14 of the playoff drought, there's nothing else that can save him besides a monster trade to get someone that not only helps you at the end of this year, but into the future. And we shift our attention to Elias Pettersson, who's having this feud with JT Miller on the Canucks, and he's just having a down year. This is a guy who has 100 points in the league at one point, and he's still very young, and he's under contract until 2031, 2032. There's no reason why the Sabres should not be all over this, offering whatever it takes to get this job done. A core of Tage Thompson, if you keep Dylan Cousins, who I know is having a bad year, if he's not part of that deal, he's another center. Elias Pettersson and then Ryan McLeod. That's a great 1, 2, 3, 4 at center. Of course, you probably would include Dylan Cousins, but take him out, put Yuri Kulik at that center. That is a great core. That's a lot better than what you have now. You're adding a superstar. It doesn't matter what you have to give up. Again, I see a lot of people saying, don't add Bowen Byram, don't add prospects like, Isak Rosen. It doesn't matter, right? Like, a lot of these prospects are never going to see the ice. Trade them all away. You have to get this guy. I'm 100% in favor of getting Pettersson. It is... it's a lot of money to spend, but it's something that the Sabres don't do. So if you're not going to spend money in free agency, you might as well make a trade and make that decision for you. At least you'll have an excuse now why you can't spend money, because you haven't invested into a core instead of sitting in the pockets of the owner. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Should Kevyn Adams get fired if he doesn't make a deal? Again, I would 100% say yes. He is fighting for his job right now. He needs to make one trade. And again, it can't be a trade that's only going to help you for this year. It has to be a future trade. It has to happen. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Leave a like on this video, subscribe, and peace out.